Okay, welcome back. We just finished our background, our middle ground, and our foreground. And now we're going to look at doing some different types of trees. Now, as you can see, we have some trees that go in several different directions. Let's take a look at this book here. We have trees with very large vines. They've been trimmed up so that they would show a lot more onto the river. Okay. There are trees with large amount of branches that are visible. If you notice that the tree branches are darker than the tree leaves themselves. Now on this side, probably the tree leaves are a little bit darker. So we're going to work on some of that, and usually we have a very dim background. We're just going to kind of do a little bit of gray. We're not going to have it as sky or anything, but every once in a while you have these trees, but you don't want a white background, especially because in black and white our sky is gray. Okay, so we'll start with laying our pencil sideways again, and we're going to go in a very strange direction. You don't have to worry about making straight lines. That almost looks like a dancer, doesn't it? Now, here's where you can actually add your details if you wish. You may want to do a couple of little branches down in there that may be sticking out and need to be cut off. Now in black and white, what is really good about this is that you don't necessarily have to worry about any color. So if you go ahead and do your branches and then you do your leaves, no one's really going to know whether or not that was intended or not, as far as your branches go. And we have a little bit of a cave here, and our root goes along this way. So now, again, we are going to lay across. Now all I'm doing is just laying little taps of color and just letting my pencil kind of do most of the work. I'm doing this across my paper real fast. Now, usually with trees, we have a tremendous amount of light that is coming in from above. So as our tree is gray, what is going to be down here is going to be even darker. Or in certain areas of your tree, you may find that that area is a little bit darker because it's not getting any light to it. So on the bottom of what you consider to be the bottom, it looks more as if it's got some depth to it. Whatever you do when you're doing these trees, don't rub the tree part in, because if you try to smudge it, all it's going to look like is a little cartoon tree. You don't want that. And then I'm lifting up my pencil a little bit more at an angle like this onto the paper so that I have a little bit darker of an area. So maybe I want a branch to be stuck out and it's sticking out of the trees. And I want a little bit darker of an area down in here. See, I've got my branch. I really don't want to mess with that. So I like the way that's looking. and then I do a very gentle soft again. Okay, I've got my tree made. Now I'm going to go along here and add a little bit more on my ground. I'm going to rub this in. This is our shade of our tree. This may be our horizon line, we don't know. But generally, you'll have this area as your green grass, but this area at the length of your tree, which actually comes down to about here, you're going to have your grass look a little bit darker. And I'm actually leaving some smudges so that it actually looks like it is got some long parts of grass. You can even do as if it's too close and it hadn't been weed eated yet. Okay, now for a background tree, still laying my tree down on to this side of the paper, I'm going to continue and we're going to make something like a pine tree.
At this time we are in a soft rock down.